Hi, hello, it's Paula from Weavedin. Today I'm going to show you again how to knit a blanket using this yarn. Okay, so I got this yarn from Temu. I got it a few weeks ago, and last week or a week before last, I showed you how to knit the yarn using your fingers. So this is the sample that I made during that session. So I knitted this with my fingers, and in that session I showed you how to cast on, how to join the yarn, how to join different colors, and I also showed you how to cast off. Okay, so today I'm going to show you a few tools that I got from Temu. They are knitting needles, big knitting needles. I'm going to show you what they look like, and we're going to have a look at if it's possible to use them to knit a blanket. So this is the first one. In the previous session I used these needles, and it was so difficult for me to knit. These are plastic, and it was very difficult on my fingers and my shoulders. So I've got this from Temu. So I don't know if these will be better than the straight ones. These are circular needles. So this is a size 25 millimeters. So, and as you can see, the cable is very short, so I don't think you'll be able to knit a big blanket using this. And I don't know how durable this is. As you can see here, this is very soft, this part here, so I don't know if they will last. Other than that, this part here is nice and smooth, so I think it will be easy to use to knit with them. But this, I don't trust this cable. It doesn't look strong at all. Okay, so let's give this one a try. Let's use this to see if we can knit using these big needles, circular needles. Okay, so I'm just going to cast on using this white yarn. Okay, so this session is not planned, so I'm going to it is going to be all over the place, so yeah, bear with me. Okay, so just going to cast on. Just going to leave a bigger tail here. Okay, we tie a knot, and then yeah, put our needle in there. I don't know if this is going to work, but let's see. Then we're going to cast on 10, so that's one. So we've got two there, 3, 4, 5. So this method, the method I'm using is called long tail cast on. So where you make a slingshot like that, and then you cast on your stitches like that. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so we've got our 10 stitches there. So if you want to use these circular needles to knit a scarf using this, yeah, you can use these needles. But for a blanket, as you can see, this is too short for a blanket. Okay, so I've got 10 stitches on our needles. We're going to turn our work. So we're going to purl all stitches. So we're using the stockinette stitch. So we're going to purl all the stitches. So this is a size 25. I couldn't get a size 35. I looked everywhere, but I couldn't find a size 35. Okay, so this is the biggest size I could get. So it's a size 25. So that's first stitch. Okay, I've got big hands and I'm struggling with this, so I don't know for those who've got small hands if they'll be able to use this, but as you can see, I'm struggling to use these needles. So this is the second row. And we are doing a purl stitch. Now, I think using your fingers is better than using these needles, to be honest. So, got 4 more stitches left. Or maybe it just needs practice, and then it will get better with time. But this is my first time using these circular needles, so these big circular needles, so it is a bit fiddly. Okay, so okay, so that's the end of the first row, and this is what it looks like. Yeah, I think using your fingers is much better than this. Anyway, I bought it because I just wanted to know if this was better than using fingers, but I think for this type of yarn it's better for you to use your fingers. I've got another tool as well which I bought from Temu. I'll show you after this. I think that one will be better than these circular needles. Either that tool or the fingers, using your fingers is better than using these needles. So I think I'll be returning these to Temu because I don't think I'll be using them. Because one, they're a bit fiddly, and two, this part here, I don't trust it. I think this can come off any time or it will break. So I really like this part here. It's nice and smooth, but it's the cable that I don't like, and I don't like the way it feels when I'm knitting. It's fiddly. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. So this is row number 2. Okay. Have you used these big circular needles before? If you have, please comment in the chat and let us know your experience, because I am finding them very difficult to use. So this is after row number 2. I cannot even see the stitches. Oh, there we are. Yeah. So this is the sample that I did last week using my fingers, and I think it looks, and this has got 10 stitches as well. So as you can see, the one that I did with using my fingers is bigger than this one. So yeah, should I carry on or should I show you the next tool, because I don't think I'll be using this for any project. I don't think I'll be using these needles for any project. Maybe for a hat, I don't know. Maybe I can use them for a hat, but okay, so I'll just do one more row. Okay, I'm on the wrong side. Just do one more row and then I'll show you the rest of the tools that I got from Temu. So that's the thing with Temu. When you're buying online, you have to be very careful. You should read all the small print, and I thought the cable was long, and as you can see, this is very short. So when buying from any website, read the small print, because you end up receiving a totally different thing altogether. Okay, so this is row number 3. We're going to purl everything, so that's 1, 2. So we've got only 10 rows. What do you think? Would you use these needles? I don't think I'll be using them. Okay, so that's the 3rd one. So I'm showing you this so that you can see how the needles look like before you buy them, and you can make a decision before buying them, because this is a struggle. I don't think anyone will enjoy using this, but this is my own opinion. I don't know. If you've used these needles, please comment in the chats so that we can help each other. Maybe there's something that I'm doing wrong, or maybe just I just don't like them. But yeah, I'm not enjoying this process at all. So imagine making a blanket. This will take forever. But I think these are okay for if you want to teach your children how to knit. You can use these ones because they are safe and they are big. So if you are teaching a child how to knit, you can use this here. Okay, so this is row number, after row number 3. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, I'll show you the other sample that I did last time, which I used, I hand knitted with my fingers. So this is 10 stitches. Okay, so this is 10 stitches, the same as this. These are 10 stitches, and as you can see, there is a difference. Let me just tilt this a bit so that you can see. So these are the 10 stitches using these circular needles, size 25, and this is 10 stitches using fingers. Okay, so I'm going to stop here because this is, I'm not enjoying this. So if I was going to knit the whole scarf, but it's not, it's fiddly. Okay, so this is how the needles look like. This part here is really nice and soft, but it's this section here that I don't like. Okay, so I think these are going back to Temu. And when I bought them, I thought they were size 35. That's why I was saying that when you're buying online, please read the small print. So this is a 25, and I bought another set as well because I thought this was a 35. and this is three needles, size I think 15, and this is the same quality. The cable, the cord, sorry, yeah, it's the same as the other one. I bought these from 2 separate vendors, and this is, they look the same. So this is 15, size 15, and this is size 20. This is size 20, and this is size 35 as well. Yeah, 25, sorry. Yeah. So all these are going back. To Temu, because I'm not going to be using them, so there's no point in me keeping them. I don't know, maybe I'll change my mind, because this is my first time using them, so maybe I should use them a few more times before I decide what to do. Okay, so this is this, and then I also bought this. This is a size 35. Okay, so these are 35 millimeter needles, and as you can see, they are very thick compared to the size 25. I'm not going to demonstrate using this, because if I do that, this session will be too long. So this is a 35, and this is supposed to be 35, but they also look the same. Did they? I think they sent me 25 here. So I thought this was 35, and they sent me 25. So I guess there's no size 35 then. Yeah, this is 25. So yeah, before pressing that order button, make sure you are ordering the right thing. So yeah, especially if you're ordering from Temu or Timu. Okay, so I also bought a loom, knitting loom for this yarn. So okay, sorry. So this is what I got. So I bought 2 sets. I bought 2 sets from 2 different vendors. So this is the first one, and I like how it looks. I think I've not used this loom, blanket loom thingies before, so this looks promising, and it's got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 times 4, 28 stitches. So it comes with this. Okay, so on the way on Temu, it doesn't show all this when you're ordering. I thought it was going to be easy to assemble, but as you can see, it's not. But I do like it, so I think I'm going to keep this. And so it comes with these screws and a screwdriver. Yeah, and this looks really. It looks like a good quality screwdriver. Yeah. Okay. I don't know how you assemble this. It doesn't come with instructions, so I think I'll do this offline, and then I'll assemble it offline, and then I'll show you how to use it another day. But this is how it looks like. So I think when you are assembling it, you put the 2 sides like this. You put the 2 ends back to back like this, and then you take one of these and you, so I think once you have assembled it, that's it. You cannot undo it. I don't know. Okay, so okay, so you slide this into here. Yeah, so there are no instructions at all in the kit, so that's another thing. Just gonna use this screwdriver. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm going to do this offline and then show you how to use the loom, to knit the blanket. So I think this is how you do it, and then you take one of the screws, and then screw it on. They don't tell you all this when you're ordering. They do not tell you all this. Okay, so yeah, I'll have to figure this out offline, and then I don't know if you can just start doing it without a drill. Yeah, you can. Okay, yeah, it's working. Yeah, that's good. So you just screw these together. And then you use another one on this side. Oh, it's quite easy, simple. Maybe that's why they don't include the instructions. Well, there's no manual in the I didn't see a manual in the package. I didn't see a manual at all. Okay, so yeah, so it's easy to assemble. So we've got 4 of them. So you do the same on the other side. Okay. I should have inserted this before on both sides before screwing the other side on. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do this offline. Yeah, so I think what you do is you insert these, you slide these in first before you screw. Okay, yeah, I have to undo the side. Okay, so that's how it looks like, and I'd really like this one. It's promising. I've never used a loom for knitting the blankets before, but I really like this size. I'll show you the other one because I got 2 sets, and the other one is not what I thought it was. I thought they were all the same size, but they're different, so I'll show you the other one. Hi Maria. Hi, thanks for tuning in. Where are you watching from? Yeah, there's Maria there. You can see Maria. Who else is there? Can't see the other names. Okay, so this is what this one looks like. Like I said from at the beginning of this video is not planned, so I'm just going to, yeah, it's an impromptu video, so I just thought I'll make a live to show you what I have been up to the past week. So yeah, I'll join this offline, and then maybe in the next live I'll show you how to knit a blanket using the loom. Okay, so this is the other one. So I got both of them from Temu, but from different vendors, and I do not like this one. Even before I open it, I know I don't like it because one, these are smaller than this, as you can see. When I bought them, they all looked the same online, but I didn't read this the small print. So this is how this one looks like. Okay, as you can see, it's way smaller. These what do you call them? These look bigger than these. So I do not like this one. And this one has only three. Yeah, only 3 of these. So 2, 4, 6. So it's got 24 stitches. And yeah, it looks smaller, but online they all look the same. So like I said, I don't like this kit at all. And this is the screwdriver that came with that one, and this is the other one. So as you can see the reason why I like the other kit than this one. This is from the other kit, and this is the, and I think they were all same price, were they? Yeah. So this is the screwdriver for this one, and the screws, they are everywhere. They are not in a pack, and I think I've got bits missing. As you can see, there are a few. There's only one of that. I think I should have more than one, and this is empty. I don't know why they put this one in there for. I think these were supposed to be in here, but they are, yeah. So this is what it is like buying from Temu. Sometimes you get really good vendors who care about their customers, and sometimes you get vendors like this. So I think these were supposed to be in there. I only have one, so I will not be able to assemble this. And I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 screws. I need more than 8 screws for sure. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I need 8 screws. So I've got enough screws, but I need more of these. And there are no instructions as well in that one. Okay, yeah, so this one is also going back. So out of everything that I've got from Temu this time, I think I'm going to keep one. I'm going to keep this loom kit, this one, the one with bigger thingies. I'm going to keep this one, but the other needles, circular needles and the straight needles and this kit, I'm going to send back because I cannot use this. This has got only one of this, and I need I need 4 of them, and I've got only one. Okay, so enough of that. Yeah. When you're buying online, you have to be very careful. Because especially with Temu, it's a hit and miss. Sometimes you get really good products, and sometimes this is what you get. Okay, Okay, so I'm just going to quickly show you how to use this. We're going to learn together because I've not used this before. This is my first time using it. So I'm going to use one piece of this kit to knit. This has got 2, 4, 6, 7. So I'm going to use it to just show you how to use the loom. But like I said, we are going to learn together because it looks simple when you see others doing it, but I've not used it before, so I'm just going to give it a go now. Okay, so start with a loop. Start with a slip knot, okay, like this. Then you put it on one of these. Okay, I think you shouldn't make it tight because if you make it tight, you won't be able to take it off. Are these? Oh, come on, Timo. Are these supposed to come out? This just and this is the one that I liked, and this just happened. Okay, the others are okay. Okay, so I have to use glue to glue that back in. Okay, let me get another one. Okay, let me check these first before we start. Okay, so these seem to be okay. Okay, so we start with the slip knot. Then put it on the first stitch like that, and then I think you can cast on like this. Yeah, I've seen others doing it like this, so you can just go around these and make loops. Okay. Okay, so that's the first that's the cast on, and then we go to row number 1, sorry. So if I remove, okay, I'm gonna remove this and then make a loop, okay, and then put it back in there. Okay, this doesn't look okay. Okay, I'm gonna remove it. Okay, so that's the first bit, and then we go to row number 1. We're going to, I think because of the way that I've casted on, I'm going to get this loop off and then pull a loop from behind like that. Okay, and then we go to the next one. Okay, so this is my first time using this loom for knitting, so please bear with me. It looks easy and I'm sure I'm doing the right thing. Okay, so stay tuned to see if this is going to work. I've seen a few videos already, and they do it, some of the creators do it like this, and some of them do it the other way. So this is row number 1, and then row number 2 we start from the second loop, sorry. Yeah, we start from here, we skip the first one, so that we can have a nice edge. So if you can use knitting needles, this is like pearl stitch. Okay, so this is row number 2. And we're going to knit all until we get to the end. Okay, and then we start row number 3. We're going to skip this one, and then we're going to start. See, something is not right there. So do we do it like this? Skip this one and then start from the second one. I think if you can use this one to knit a scarf, because it's got only 7 loops. You'll be working with 7 loops only. 6, 7, 2, 4, 6, 7, yeah. So I think you can use this to make a scarf. So this is my first time using this, so I think if I can do it, then anyone can do it. So okay, and then we go to the next row. We skip this one, and then we knit, or we purl from the second loop. Okay, I'm sure you can see there's something going on with this one. I don't think I'm getting this one right because there's something not right there. Okay, I'm going to knit that one as well. See, there is something definitely wrong here. But anyway, I think this is how you do it. But I have to figure out how to do the first part here so that we don't end up with this. Yeah. Okay, so when you're starting from here, you skip this one and then you knit from here. Okay, so I'm just showing you me learning how to use this, so that when you see me in the other videos, when you see me next time, you'll be like, oh, we watched the struggle the first time she started using the loom thingy. So you all have evidence to say, oh, she didn't know how to use it. But I'm going to practice and I'll perfect the skill, and you will see the progress here at Weavedin. If you're not a member, subscribe so that you can see the progress. If you are a member, thank you so much for your support. It's really appreciated. Okay. So I do know how to knit using my fingers, how to knit the blanket using my fingers, but this is a new method for me that I wanted to try, and I think I'll be using it because it's easier than using fingers, because if you're a beginner, I would advise to use this because you will not drop any stitches. Okay, so this is how the other side looks like. So as you can see, it's coming out nicely on this side, and this side, that's that corner here, it's not looking good, but this side is, everything looks fine, and you've got nice even stitches. You've got a nice tension on that side. Okay, I'll continue for a few more stitches so that you can see. So I think we got a note there. Sorry. Okay, so we're using the purl method, I think, because we are purling all stitches. We're not turning the to knit. We are knitting on the wrong side all the time. We're not turning the piece to face the other side. So this is the wrong side of the stockinette stitch, so we skip that one. Okay, so now that we've done this together, I'm going to take all this, I'm going to undo all this, and then we start again, and we make sure that we correct that corner that I messed up. But this is my first time doing this, so I was bound to mess up somewhere, and it all happened here live while you were all watching. I was hoping that I'll get it right the first time, but no, that didn't happen. Okay, so this is how it looks like. This is the wrong side and this is the right side. Okay, so I'm going to take this off and then start again, see if I can get that corner right. So this is this corner here. Need to figure it out. Okay, so I'm gonna take this and do all this. Is anyone here? There's nothing in the chat. Have you used this yarn before? If you have, just put a thumbs up or like the video so that I know that you've used this yarn before. Or are you a beginner, a total beginner? You want to learn how to use it? Okay. Okay, so we're gonna start again. So that was my first time. You've all seen me, learn how to use this. So if you stay tuned, in the next week or so, I'll be doing that. I'll be knitting without any problem because I would have practiced all week, and as you can see, this is very easy. This was my first time doing this and I managed to knit something. Yes, there was an error, there was a mistake there, but I managed to knit something. So we're gonna start again. So start with a slip knot like that, and then you insert it into the first loop or the first stitch, and then you wrap your yarn like this, I'm sure there are other ways of casting on, but I think this is the easiest one. So you just wrap your yarn like this onto the needle. Okay, so I want to try and correct the error here. I think the best way for me to do that is to maybe take this out and yes, turn it around like that, twist it like that, and then start. Yeah, I think this is going to work. Okay, so I twisted that first one, so we're going to start knitting from here. So we're going to purl, so we're just going to lift that off, and then okay, and then lift this one, this loop off, and then like that, and then do the same for the rest. Okay, I'm going to find out the other ways of casting on, and I'll share with you. I'll share with you next week how to cast on using different methods. But I think this is the easiest method. So okay, so we've done the first row. Okay, we still have that problem there. So yeah, I'll have to find out how to, because we have this loose bit here. Sorry, I think I'm just going to give up on this today because I don't want to keep trying and show you wrong ways of doing it, because I thought I got it this time, but it's not. It didn't work. Okay. See if I can try another method. Okay, I'm going to do a chain, like I'm going to use my fingers without the loop. So if I want to use my fingers, I'll do a chain. So start with a slip knot, and then I'm going to make 7 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so let's see if we can put the 7 there, because I'm trying to avoid that the hole at the bottom here. So we've got 7 stitches. I'm going to see if this works. Okay, so I'm going to put this one here like that. I want this one. No. Okay. I want this one here because I'm going to try to do it facing the right side. So I'm going to put this one here, first one here, and then I'm going to pick the middle loop from the back, and I'm going to put it on this next loop here. Okay, so this is how I learn. Okay, so I'm showing you the whole process, how I learn. I don't give up. Keep trying other methods until I get it right. Okay, so we just trying different ways of doing this until we get a good sample. Okay, so okay, so this looks promising. Is there anyone there? Do you have any input? Have you used this before? If you have, I'll appreciate any advice. Okay, so I did seven chains, so it seems like we've got an extra one here, so I'm going to undo this, and then so that we can have a okay, I think this will work. Yeah, okay, so I think we should have changed 6. So this is the beginning of this sample. So this is what we have. This is going to be the cast on. So from here we are going to, this time we're going to knit from the right side. The other time we were using the purl stitch. Now we're going to use the knit stitch. Okay, so to use the knit stitch, we're going to take this, lay it like that, just like you are finger knitting. You lay your yarn in front of your tool like this, and then you take this one here, take this loop, lift it off. It's a bit tight, so we'll perfect it as we go, and then we make a loop like that, and then we put it back, yeah, and then we'll take this one out, make a loop, okay, and then put it back onto that, and then we go to the next stitch, pull a loop, pull it off like that, and then you insert your fingers in there. Yeah, this is a bit tight. I think the next sample I will make the chain a bit loose, okay, and then we, so you've all seen it the first time. Hi Vaishali, how are you? Where are you watching from? Okay, so we'll pull a loop, and then we insert it like that, and then we take this one out. So you are all witnessing my first trial. This is first time of me trying to, first time me using the loop, the loom tool. So you can all see, I'm just doing this so that you can all see that it's a very easy, it's very easy for anyone to do this. Anyone can do this within a few, can learn how to do this within a few minutes. It's very easy. Okay, so we have finished row 1. We're going to go to row 2. We're going to skip the first, yeah, because we want a nice neat edge. We're going to skip the first stitch, and we're going to start from the second one. So we lift this one up, we make a loop, and then we put that one there like that. Lift this one, make a loop, and okay, let's see how this goes. Okay, wish me luck. The first attempt didn't work, so let's see how this one goes. So lift it up, make a loop, put it back in there. Okay, and then the last one, lift it up, make a loop, and set it like that. Okay, so we are knitting this one, and we are facing the right side of the project. Okay, so from here we are going to skip the first stitch and then start from here. hope this is going to work. If it does, I will also show you how to join a different color yarn. Okay, lift this one up and then make a loop and put it back in there. I think this is the best if you are learning, if you're a beginner, you are learning how to knit blankets using this yarn. You can use your fingers because that's how I learned, but I think this is better because when you use a loom, when you use this tool, you will not drop stitches. But if you are using your fingers, there is a high chance of you losing stitches. Okay, so we put the last one, we're gonna lift it up. Okay, and then, okay, I see there's a thingy there. Oh dear. Okay, lift it up and then knit one. Okay, so when you are doing the last one, I think it's a bit tricky because you've got that there. Okay, I'll just continue and see how it goes, because when I put this one behind there, we have two loops, so that's not good. Okay, let's see if I put this one in like this, that's twisting it. Okay, we're going to skip this one and then we're going to go to the next one and then lift the loop and make another loop. Okay, and then lift it, make another loop, lift the next one, make another loop. So as you can see, this is very easy. You can knit a blanket in a few hours. You can knit a blanket and finish. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. When you skip the first loop and you start on the next one, you end up having two loops, so that doesn't look right. Okay, so I'm just going to use one loop to finish that round. It's looking okay, but I'm not happy with this bit here. I guess I'll have to learn how to do this properly and then I'll be in a position to teach you guys. But I think this is the best option for all those who want to start knitting blankets using this yarn. You can do so without this tool. You can use your fingers. So I'm going to show you how to do this. So this is the way I know. I've been doing this for a while now. I've been using my fingers for a while, so this I can teach you how to do. So this is the sample that I made last time. This is how it looks like. Okay, so you start with a slip knot. Like this, and then you make your chains. So you insert your fingers in here, and pull it up like that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so do 5 more. 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay, so we've got 10 chains. We're going to start row 1. So to start row 1, we're going to flip our chain like this, and we're going to, so this is going to be the first loop. Okay, so make the last loop a bit tighter, and then yeah, so this is going to be our first loop, and we turn our work like this, and we are going to pick from the middle strand, middle of the loop. We're going to pick this, we're going to pick a loop from there, so that's 2. And then we're going to pick another loop from the middle of the chain like that, so that's 3. Then we're going to pick from the middle there, then we're going to pick another loop, and then pick another loop, so when you cast on, it's a bit fiddly, so you have to be really patient. Pick another loop like that, so that's the first row. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so when you make your loops, just make sure that they are all the same height so that you can have a good tension. Okay, so row number 2, we're going to skip the first one. We're going to skip the first loop and then pick a loop from the second one, from the second loop. And pick another loop. Pick another one. Another loop, so all you're doing is picking a loop from the first loops. So this is the last loop. You're gonna pick a loop like that, okay, so as you can see, this is tight. So when you start your chain, make sure that your chain is loose so that you avoid this. Okay, so that's row number 1 done. We're going to go to row number 2. Row number 2, we're going to skip the first loop. We're going to start from the next one. We're going to pick a loop from there, and then we pick another loop from the next one. So this is very easy when using your fingers, but if you're a beginner, I'd advise you to use the loom, because you will not drop stitches. When you're using your fingers, it's very easy to drop stitches, because all these stitches, as you can see, you can easily drop the stitches, especially if you've got a tight tension. And when you are knitting, just make sure that your loops are the same height. So you knit the last loop and skip the last loop. So when you skip, you just go to you skip this one and then you go to the next one. Okay. So you keep doing the same. This is very easy. You keep doing the same until you get your desired length. So if you're working on a blanket, you can cast on 30, depending on the size that you want. If you want a bigger one, you can cast on 40. So you can make 40 chains if you want an extra large blanket, and then you start knitting. But most people, they do 30 chains, 30 stitches for a lap blanket. So okay, so we're on the next row. We're going to skip the first loop and start on the next one. Okay, after this row, I'm going to show you how to join yarn. I'm going to join a different color. So as you can see, when you're using your fingers, you have to make sure that your loops are all the same length for you to have good tension. But if you're using if you're using this a tool, then you don't have to worry about that. Okay, snap. I'm gonna learn how to do this, and then I'll come and show you how to do it properly. Okay, so I'll do another live session next week to show you how to use the loom, the tool, because today was my first time and I thought I was going to be able to just do it, but as you saw, it didn't work. Okay, so starting another row, we skip the first one, skip the first stitch, we go to the next one. So some people, they use their fingers to measure the size of the loops to have a good tension. So you can use 2 fingers depending on how big or how small your hands are. You can use 2 fingers. If you've got small hands, you can use 3 fingers. Some use 4. So it all depends on the tension that you're after. I just eyeball it and it works. So okay, so we are at the end of the row. I'm going to show you how to join. So I'm going to cut my yarn here before I finish the row. I'm going to cut the yarn here. Okay, and I'm going to use this lavender color to start the next row. Okay, so I'm going to undo this last loop and then join the yarn. Just gonna put this end as well, and then use a lighter. So I'd advise you to use oh, is this finished? Okay, I'd advise you to use a sewing needle, or to just tie the yarn if you've got children at home, for safety. Okay, so you just bend the two ends and then you just fuse them together like this. Okay, so that's how you join the yarn. So like I said, if you've got children at home, I would advise you to use this method. You can use a needle. I showed that, I think I did that in my previous videos. I showed how to use a needle and sewing thread to sew the two together. So that's a safer method of doing it, or you can just tie a knot. That also works, but this is the quickest way of joining the yarn. Okay, so we just continue knitting. So this is the second from last, and this is the last one. So you knit last one with a different color, and then you skip that one, and then you start on the next loop. Then you continue with your work. Okay, I'm just trying to make the loops, make them the same size. Okay, so for this method, just make sure that you knit the last stitch and skip the first stitch. Okay, so at the end of the row you knit the last stitch, but at the beginning of the row you skip the first stitch. This will give you a nice edge like this. So I'm going to skip this one and then we'll start on this one. I wish I could teach you in person, but as you know, it's impossible. I'm here and you are far, far away. So this is the only way we can teach each other. Okay, so that's the last one. So knit the last one and then skip the first one. Okay, then you continue. So for a baby blanket, I think you can start with 20 chains. You can do a baby blanket with 20 chains. Because this is 10 and it looks quite, yeah. So So if you've got another 10, yeah, 20 stitches will be enough for a baby blanket. And then you knit until you get your desired length, or until you get a square, and then you can cast off. Okay, so knit the last one, knit the last stitch and skip the first stitch. So I'm going to start on the second one. Okay, this is what I was talking about. If you're a beginner, it's very easy to drop stitches. So see, this is a dropped stitch there. So I'm going to fix that one first. But if you're using this tool, then you will not have that problem. Hi MD Malani. How are you? Where are you watching from? Okay, so we're at the end of the row. We knit the last one. Okay, but because we want to join a new, we want to join our white yarn, we're going to undo this loop and then cut here. We're going to cut our yarn here. Okay, and then we're going to rejoin the white yarn. Rejoin the white yarn. Okay, we're just going to cut here as well, just to make sure we have a flat surface. Okay, and then we're going to undo this one as well, so that we can join it to the white yarn. Okay, we're going to use our lighter. I bend both sides, but some bend one side. So bend both sides and then fuse them together like this. So remember, this is polyester. So when you're doing this, make sure you do it safely, because if you don't, you will burn your fingers. So just bear that in mind, that this is plastic, so you can easily burn your fingers. Okay, so that's done. That's secure. Okay, then we're going to do this stitch and the last one, like that. Okay, and from here we are going to work on the next one. So no, we skip the first stitch and then we start from the second one. So we start knitting from there. Okay, and then we carry on. Okay, so I'll do a few rows and then I'll show you how to cast off. Remember to make sure that your loops are the same size, so that you can have a good tension. Okay, so knit the last one and skip the first one. So skip this one, start from the next one like that. knit the last one and skip the first one. Hi Julia, hi Dora, how are you? Oh, Dora from New York. Oh, thank you so much for tuning in. Hi Julia, where are you watching from? Okay, so we are at the end of the row. Okay, so see, because I wasn't paying attention there. Okay, so I'm going to undo this one and then knit the last two. Okay, and then skip the knit the last one and then skip the first one and then you continue. So I'm going to show you how to cast off on the next row. Hello, been trying to teach myself how do you do this unsuccessfully. You should have been were you watching when did you start? Should have seen me trying to use the loom, this tool. You should have seen me trying to use this tool. I struggled and I gave up in the end, but I'll come back more prepared next week and I'll show you how to use this. This is very easy, it's not difficult at all. All you need is practice. You just need to practice. Okay, so this is the last loop. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to cast off. So this is just a sample, I'm not making anything, just a sample to show you how to do it. Okay, so I'm going to start casting off. So when you cast off, you start from the, okay, I'll show you what to do. Okay, so to cast off, you can cast off from any end. You can cast off starting from the left to right, but I normally do it from right to left. Okay, so to cast off, you knit. Remember, we were skipping the first stitch, but when you're casting off, you knit the first one. You knit that first stitch like that, and then you knit the next one. Okay, and then you take the first loop and then you slip it over the second one like that. Okay, and then you knit the next one, and then you take this one and just slip it over like this, and then knit one, slip the previous stitch over, knit one, slip the previous stitch over, knit one, and then slip the next one over. Okay, then knit one, slip the first one over like that. Make sure that when you're doing that, make your stitches or your loops, make them loose so that it's not tight like what I did here at the beginning. See, this is different from that. So make sure that your loops are loose, so you can maybe use your fingers to measure the size of the loop. So I'm using my 4 fingers here. So you insert that in there, and then you slip that one over. Then you go to the next one. Then you do the same. Then you go to the last one, make a loop, and then slip that one over. So, and then the last stitch, you make a chain like this. Then you cut your yarn. Then you tighten that stitch like that. And then you weave in this to the back of your work. So this is the back, as you can see, and this is the front. So you slip this one into the stitches behind your on the wrong side, and you do it as neatly as possible. And then you take your, if you are using needle and sewing thread, you just take you just sew this to any of the loops here. You just sew it on, and then that will secure it. But if you're using the bend method, you just bend the end, and then you just fuse it to the back of any of the loops there. Okay, and that's done. And then you can do the same to this one here. You just weave it in and then fuse it to any of the stitches at the back there. Okay, so that's how you finger knit. So I tried to show you how to do the loop, the loom, but because it was my first time, I failed. So I'll come back again another time to teach you, after I've practiced, to teach you how to use this, because I think it's very easy. It's the same what do you call it, I think it's the same what do you call it, it's the same as finger knitting, but you'll be just using this to make sure that you don't drop your stitches, and your tension will be way nicer than this. This is okay, but I think when you're using the loom, your stitches will be more even than this. Okay, so do you want me to start again? Bindo, hi Bindo. Hi Nama, how are you? Where are you watching from? Do you want me to start again? Are you just joining? Are you just joining in? Do you want me to start again? If you want me to start again, you can press the like button so that I know you want me to start over, and then I'll start again. I'll do another sample so that you can see how I did it. Are you all happy? Do you want me to start again? Okay, I'll just start one more time. I'll just start from the beginning. I'll do another sample, and then after that I'll sign off. Okay, so I'm going to correct this bit this time. Okay, so this is how we start. This is for those who are just joining us. We are making a blanket using our fingers. We are finger knitting a blanket, but in this session we are not knitting a blanket. I'm just going to do a sample of how to do it. If you want to knit a blanket, you can chain. For a baby blanket you can chain 20. For a lap blanket, chain 30. If you want a large blanket, chain 40. Okay, but for this sample I'm going to chain 10 just to show you how to do it. Okay, so the yarn I'm using is Chanel yarn. I got this from Temu, and it's blanket yarn, Chanel blanket yarn, and it's 100% polyester. Okay, so to begin we start with a chain of 10. Okay, so I'm going to make a slip knot like this. Okay, and this time I'm going to make my chains a bit loose to avoid this. As you can see, this is too tight. You can hardly see the chains compared to this bit here. Okay, so I'm going to do loose chains. So I'm going to chain 10. So I'm going to use my fingers to measure the chains. Okay, so that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. Okay, this is too big. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so as you can see, these are loose, so we make loose ones to avoid a tight cast on. Okay, so from here we're going to lay our yarn like this. Then this will be the first loop. We're going to turn our chain like this, and we're going to cast on. We're going to cast on 10. So we're going to pick our loops from here, from the middle, from there. Okay, so this is 1, and pick from here, 2, so when you're doing this, you just make sure that your loops are the same size. Okay, so these are the first 2 loops, and then we go to the middle. Where is it? Okay, we go here, 3, 4. So this is the most difficult part. If you get this one right, then you'll be okay. The cast on is the most difficult bit. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So here, where is the 10th one? No. And 10. Okay. So this is the most difficult part. As you can see, I've been doing this for a while and I still can't find the stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And this one, the last one. Okay, I'm gonna start over. Okay, bear with me. Just want to make sure that you see how to start, because if you do this right, then the rest is very easy. Okay, so start with the slip knot. Okay, then make sure that your chains are loose. Can fit. Make sure that you can fit at least your 4 fingers in there. So you make your 10 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. And then you flip your chain so that you can pick your stitches from the back of the chain. So this is your first stitch. So we're going to pick from the middle. So we're going to pick from here. We're going to pick our stitches from there. Okay, so that's 1, and then 2. I'm going to pick a stitch from here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so I'm doing this so that you can see that even if those who have been knitting for some time, they still struggle sometimes, but when it's a tutorial, you don't get to see all that. Okay, so this is 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, then from here we go the other way. We don't turn our work, we just go the other way. So we skip the first one, the first loop, we go to the second one, we pick a loop. Okay, and then we continue doing the same until we get to the end of the row. Hi Andrew. Hi Constance. Oh, you cannot hear me. Oh, sorry. I think it's because my microphone. I'm using my phone, my microphone from the phone. So sorry. I think my phone is too far from where I'm sitting. Okay, so as you can see, this last loop is a bit too long. So we're going to twist it like that to avoid the hole there. Okay, so that's the first row. Then the next row, we're going to start from the second loop. So skip the first one, start from the second one. So that's 1, 2. Okay, let me switch off the heater. Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me now? Okay, I hope you can hear me. So we're working on the third row. Here, 1, 2, 3. So you continue with your loops. The only challenge with finger knitting is there's a big chance of you dropping your loops or your stitches, because your stitches are just hanging in the air. So as you can see, so it's very easy for one to drop the stitches. Okay, so that's the end of row 3. Row 4, we're going the other way. So we skip the first stitch, we start from the second one. So we're going to knit all the loops until we get to the end. So, and when you're knitting, just make sure that your loops are the same height, so that you have good tension. Some knitters, they use their fingers, some use 2, some use 3, some use 4, depending on the size of your hands. So I just eyeball it. Yeah, so knit the last stitch and skip the first stitch. So at the end of the row, you knit the last stitch. At the beginning of the row, you skip the first stitch. So you're going to skip the first one and then start from the second loop. Okay. So you keep doing the same. Just go back there and just make sure that your loops are the same height or same length. Then you knit the last one and skip the first stitch when you're starting the next row. So you skip this one, start from the next one. Okay. So this is very easy. Just practice a few times and you'll be able to knit a very good a nice blanket as a Christmas present, or you can knit yourself a nice blanket. Okay, so we are at the end of the row. I'm going to show you again how to join yarn. Today I'm just using the bending method, but in my other video I used two or three methods. I used the sewing needle and sewing thread to join the yarn, and I also used the invisible knot. So if you want to learn how to do that, you can check my other video. Today I'm just going to show you how to use the bend method, which is the easiest and popular method. Okay, so we're at the end. So when you're joining the yarn, to avoid this, because last time when I was knitting, this is what happened. So to avoid this here, what you do is, if you're joining a different color, you undo this one. So you join your yarn here before the last stitch. Okay, so I'm going to cut my yarn here. Okay, cut it here. So before knitting the last stitch, you join your yarn. So I'm going to undo this one so that I can join the two. Okay, so cut to make the surfaces flat so that it's easy to join. Okay, and then you bend the two ends. Is it finished in there? Okay, so you bend the two sides. So be very careful when doing this, because this is, like I said before, this is polyester. So if you're not careful, you can easily burn your fingers. Okay, then you just fuse the two sides together. See, like that. Hi Karen, how are you? Okay, and then test it, so that should be secure. Then you can carry on. Okay, and then you knit the last stitch using the new color. Okay, then from here you continue with your knitting. Okay, so this is the best way to learn how to knit. If you want to learn how to knit, this is the best way of learning how to knit using needles, because this is the same except that we're not using needles, we're using our fingers. So, oh, did I? Okay, so we are at the end of the row. We skip the first one, and then we knit from the second one. So this will give you a nice edge like that. So if you skip the first stitch and knit from the second one, even when using your knitting needles, if you do this, you get a very nice edge. So okay, can you hear me? I think I have to buy in a better thingy for my audio, because I'm using my phone to record this and I don't have any other devices that I'm using. So if you cannot hear me, I do apologize for that. Okay, so we're at the end of the row. We've knitted the last one. We're going to skip the last one and we start from the second one. I need to buy a microphone because if you cannot hear me, then it's pointless for me to to even continue. I don't know, can you hear me? What is the material name? Okay, it's called it's Chanel 100% polyester. I got it from Timo. Okay, so we've done the last one. We're going to knit another row to the end, and we'll change back to the white color. Okay, so skip the last one and then knit from the second loop. If you've got any questions, you can ask in the chat and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Okay, I got this yarn from Timo. I did the unboxing video last week. You can check my my previous videos. I did an unboxing of the yarn, and I've put all the information there, the prices, how much, how many grams. So this lavender one, I got it for, I think it was, oh, forgotten. Yeah, if you want to know the prices, go to my other video. I've got all the information there. But it's 100% polyester. So it's called, they call it Chanel yarn from Timo, 100% polyester, and it was 250 grams. Okay, so from here we're going to join we're going to rejoin the white color. So remember what I said, when you're at the end of the row, undo the last one, undo the last stitch if you want to join a new color, and then join your new color here. You just one stitch before the end of the row. Okay, so we cut here, and then undo this the second from last stitch. Then take your other yarn and bend the ends. As you can see, this is very dangerous, and be very careful with your fingers. You can easily bend your fingers because, as you can see, this is plastic polyester, 100% polyester. On Timu, they say they call it Chanel yarn, 100% polyester, 250 grams per ball. You can get it in 250 or in 500 grams. Okay, so that's secure there. Okay, so you do your second from last stitch, and then you knit your last stitch with the new color. Okay, and then from here you continue. You skip the first one, so it's a repetition of the same. You skip the first stitch, you start from the second loop, you knit, you just pull a loop all the way to the end. Then when you get to the end, you knit to the last stitch, and then this is the last stitch, knit, and then skip that stitch. When you're starting the new row, skip the stitch and then start from the second stitch. Okay, and you continue doing the same. Okay, at the end of the row, you knit the last one, and then when you begin the next row, you skip that stitch. So we're doing that to have a nice edge. Skip the first one and knit the last stitch. So when you do that, you get a nice edge like this. Okay, so we're going to skip this one, knit the next one, okay, and then knit the last one, then skip the first one and knit from the second loop. So you can continue doing the same until you get your desired length. Okay, so that's all there is to it. It's not difficult at all. So for a baby blanket, you can start with 20 chains and then knit until you get a square, until you have a square, or you knit until you have your desired length. The same for lap blanket, you chain 30 and then knit to your desired length and cast off. And then for a big blanket, you chain 40, knit to your desired length and cast off. Okay, so we are at the end. I'm going to show you how to, I'm just doing a sample here. I'm not knitting anything. This is just a sample for you, just to see how to do this. So at the end, you cast off. So when you cast off, you knit the first stitch. That's the only time you knit the first stitch. Okay, so you knit the first stitch, okay, and then knit the second one, okay, and then slip the first stitch over the second stitch like this, and then knit the next one, and then slip this stitch over the knitted stitch, then continue doing the same until you get to the end. So knit, slip the knitted stitch over that one, then knit the next one, slip the first one, and then knit this one, then slip this one over. So make sure that your stitches are not tight. Okay, knit the next one, slip the next one over, and then knit this one, and then slip this one over. Okay, then knit the next one, then slip this one over, then knit the next one and slip the stitch over. Okay, so that's the last one. Then from here you're going to knit one, okay, sorry, chain one, okay, and then cut your yarn. So cut here, just pull the loop a bit, then cut, okay, and then secure that stitch by just pulling, okay, and then from here we turn your work and then weave this in. You can weave it in that way or this way, just do it as neatly as possible, okay, so that it's not showing. So okay, just weave it in behind in these stitches here. Just weave it in, and then make sure that it's not showing on the other side, and then you bend the tip, I think I'm running out of, okay, you bend the tip, I just blew it, yeah, you bend the tip and just fuse it into the back of any stitch, okay, like that. Okay, that's all. It's all done. So this is the front. Okay, so this is the cast on edge and this is the cast off edge. So these are only 10 stitches, and we've done 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14, about 14 rows. Okay, so this is how it looks like. That's the right side and this is the back side, and I've got this sample from last time. As you can see, last time my tension was a bit tight, so these are the same stitches, 10 stitches, but as you can see there's a difference. The one I've done today is a little bigger, but the stitches are the same. So my tension on this day was tight, and today, so make sure when you're knitting that you're using the same tension. Okay, so this is from last week and this is another one from today. This is the other one I did earlier on. Okay, today's samples are the same size. So as they say, the tension sometimes depends on how you're feeling on the day. So today I think I'm a bit relaxed, so my tension is a bit loose. And on this day, my tension was tight. I guess I was a bit tense, I don't know. But I like this tension. This is better than the today's one. Okay, so last time this is what happened, and today, as you can see, if you use that method that I showed you, you will not have this here. Your other color will be like, you will not have a piece that's, you know, like this. So yeah, as I said, today's session was not planned, so yeah, I hope you learned something. I hope you learned something today. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the chats. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions regarding knitting, finger knitting, or if you need assistance with finger knitting or knitting in general, or if you need assistance with crochet. I also teach those classes. I normally do it online, but if you want one-to-one, we can do one-to-one online, but I will have to set that up. I have not set that up yet, but if anyone is interested in one-to-one lessons online, I'll be happy to do that. If you want to have one-to-one in person, then you have to be, you know, where you have to be near me for us to arrange for that. But yeah, so in my next live I will be teaching you how to use this. I tried to do it earlier when I started the video, but when I started this session, but this was my first time using this, so it didn't work. So I'll learn how to do this, and then I'll get back. I'll be back next week to show you how to use this this tool. If you're a beginner, I would advise you to get one of these. I think it will be better for you to learn using this tool, because that way you'll get better tension and you will not also lose stitches. So this one I got it from Temu. Okay, so I showed you earlier, for those who were here when I started this video, I showed you the pieces, and this is how it looks like. And I attempted to assemble it online live, but it didn't work, so I'm going to do it offline. Yeah, so this one is got how many stitches? 2, 4, 6, 7, 28, about 28 stitch. You can do 28 stitches on this tool. So if you want to buy this one, you can get it from Temu, but to be honest, I don't have a vendor that I can recommend right now, because I'm disappointed with the both vendors that I bought from this time. So I'm disappointed because I really like this one, but when I tried to use it, this happened. So yeah, so I cannot recommend any vendors right now, but if you go on Temu and look for loom for blankets, for blanket yarn, there are a few vendors there, so you can just pick and choose whichever. But you have to read the small print, so that to make sure that you're getting the right one. Yeah, so I like this one. So I'll be using this one next week when I do the tutorial. But from now till then, I'll be learning how to use it. Yeah. So I share all this so that you know that we all struggle. We all struggle when it comes to knitting, and we all start as beginners, and with practice we improve. Yeah. So that's all I have for you today. If you've got any questions, please ask, and I'll be happy to answer you. If not, I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, bye.